All right, welcome everybody to Woo Wednesday. It is the first Woo Wednesday of May, and we are kicking off the month in our Rewilding series, which I'm really excited about. And this week is a moment to pause, to breathe, and to look at the shadows, the unseen, the parts of life that, we can feel and sense, but we don't always have in our forefront of our awareness. So if you're new here, I'm Opal. I'm an awakening and integration coach. I help women shed what no longer fits, reclaim their energy and their truth, and find their flow so that you can create a life that feels deeply rooted and alive and yours. And that nothing feels better than living your truth. And so today we're exploring rooted connection and the moments that remind us who we are, because there's a lot of noise that can play heavily on who we believe ourselves to be. And so we're getting back to who we are beneath all that crap, all the noise, all the nonsense. So to begin, I just want to drop in with a little bit of breath. So go ahead and close down your eyes. If it feels right, place a hand on your belly and one on your heart. And just take a really cleansing, deep inhale into the belly. Hold for just a moment, letting it expand, filling the entire being with nourishment and love, and then release it all through the mouth. Sending away anything that doesn't serve you. Take another deep inhale into the belly. Hold it. Open up that chest and that heart space and let it all go. One last time, bringing in that deep nourishment. Holding it just for a moment. And let it all go. If you feel any weight, anything causing you tension or discomfort, shake it out. And just settle into this moment. Give yourself permission to be here for the next 30 to 40 minutes, a moment for yourself, whether that's midday with me live or that's on the replay. This energy is for you if you find it, no matter if it's today or in a month. Give yourself permission to fully sit in this moment. So I want to share a story with you that connects to the theme of rooted reconnection. And it's about my own life. And about a year ago, I was doing some deep ancestral connection work, not intentionally, but it came through pretty strongly for me. I do have Nordic heritage. I am a sixth generation Norwegian. And through the spiritual work I was doing last year, I had a Norse ancestor appear to me in meditation. She was very priestess like. She had this beautiful white ceremonial dress on. And in working with her, I was getting these subtle nudges to explore runes. And I kind of looked into them a little bit at the time, but I didn't dig into it any deeper than that. And last week, that call returned a little bit stronger. And so I started exploring the Elder Futhark. I've been using ChatGPT with a lot of things. So I went to ChatGPT and I was like, hey, how do I learn this the most efficient way? How do I start working with these things? How do I connect them to my lineage? And it gave me a lot of recommendations, especially with like bringing in my daughter and teaching her these things to keep our heritage, our lineage alive. And it presented to me this book called Taking Up the Runes. And I bought the book and it sat on the table for a few days. And then the other night, Adrian, my husband, was putting Runa to bed and the house was quiet. So I decided to read a little bit of the book. And I got through the preface and then I got into the introduction. And I'm reading the second page of the introduction and I get midway through the first full paragraph on that page. And there it was, my daughter's name written. Oh God, this makes me so emotional. Written on a page of a book with the meaning of her name. And for those that don't know, Runa's name is an Old Norse name. And the way that it came to me, I was scrolling Pinterest for names. I had been scrolling for days when I was pregnant. Adrian and I were going back and forth on what to name her. And this name with this image appears in my Pinterest feed. And for whatever reason, I really connected with it and I didn't save it. And I kind of thought maybe I might be able to find it again, but I didn't save it. But I remembered the name very, very vividly. And I've tried to find this image ever since then and I can't find it. It was almost as if it was like a here you go and now I'm gone. But Runa's name means mystery or secret lore. And when I read this page, and I'll just read the sentence to you that caused me to have this moment of reconnection and deep rooting. It says, in Old High German, the word rune or runa means mystery, and those who seek secrets in the runes will not be disappointed. And when I read that, I still feel it now. I get these, like, I don't have goosebumps, but it feels like electric static all through my body. And it's the same feeling I get when ancestors appear when I'm doing work with my clients. It's the same feeling I get when I open my channel and I start doing Reiki or light language. And in that moment, I felt like I was home. I felt like I'd found something that was a very, very strong indicator that I was exactly where I was supposed to be, doing exactly what I was meant to be doing. Our house was quiet. There was nothing going on. And it was just this moment of total knowing. And I felt safe and I felt supported and I felt deeply, deeply reconnected to something that I have felt stirring within me that I just couldn't put my finger on. And if I were to try to explain this to somebody outside of the context of spiritual awakening and things that I've been doing in this journey, it would probably sound like a storybook. And this is what it means to reconnect. This is what it means to have these deep-seated moments beyond, these, I don't know, what am I trying to say? we talk a lot about grounding. We talk a lot about rooting. We talk about, these things. What does it really feel like? What does it look like when it happens? They're not always these grandiose things. Sometimes they're really quiet moments. They're really raw moments. It's a word on a page. It's a looking out, at something in a region that you just drove through on a vacation. It's a silent moment where your body breathes and relaxes. They aren't these performative, productions. It's so much more quiet than that. And so that's where we're going today. We're rooting back in. We're reconnecting with what it means to be home within ourselves, not external, not in the people we surround ourselves with, not in, the things that we do. It's coming back home deeply here, in the body, in the spirit, at the core. So that was my share with Rooted Connection this week. And I love synchronicities. I've been working really diligently and intentionally to build out a calendar for Woo Wednesday and for my business that mirrors my own inner work. And every week, without fail, I have these synchronistic connections of my own journey with the context of what I'm going to be talking about. And it's just so cool to be able to sit in this space and share that with everybody. So that is my story of reconnecting. I have many of them, many moments like this where reconnection has met me in my journey. And I'm happy to share those with anybody that wants some additional examples. But I would love to hear if you've ever had a moment where maybe it was a song, it was a lyric, it was seeing somebody that you've never met before. I know I've had those before where I see someone, it's like, man, I know them, and it feels really good to connect with them. Yeah, so share those in the comments if you have those, or in the Facebook group. I'd love to see you there also. All right, with that, let's drop into the meditation for today, and then we'll also do, I might do a card pull. I haven't decided yet if that energy is there. I did cleanse them and get them prepared, but let's go ahead and settle in for today's meditation. If you are in a space that is shared, just let the people that are around you know that you're going to be taking a few minutes, and to eliminate distractions, put your phones, emails, computers, those types of things on silent, do not disturb. In fact, I am going to make sure mine is on do not disturb. And also prepare yourself to be flexible to ebb and flow with any distractions that might come in. I do not work from home, but I do have a 5-year-old daughter who is in the other room. She knows we're doing these lives, and typically will give me that space to do it. But if she needs something, it may be an interruption. So just be mindful of that. We work through those the best we can when they happen. But yeah, just set your space. If you want to lay down, if you want to sit up, if you want an eye mask, grab those things, maybe a journal and some water, a candle. I do have some smoke medicine going. I am using rosemary from my garden. Whatever you need to do to feel comfortable. To begin, we're just going to do a quick check around the room, just to see if there's anything out of place, to see if there's anything that might be a cause for worry. We're just telling our nervous system that there are no threats. There's no lions in the corner. There's no bears trying to eat us. If you have a candle, make sure it's in a fire safe dish or something that can't burn down while you're meditating. If you are using smoke medicine, make sure it is not billowing smoke and on fire to where you would have to worry about that. But just look around and notice, what you've got going on. Notice any sounds from people nearby. Just let your system settle into this moment and give it permission to release the need to be hypervigilant for any signs of danger. And when you're ready, go ahead and close down your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. And just watch it as the observer, as the witness. Is it in your belly or in your chest? Are you breathing fast or are you breathing slow? Are you taking shallow breaths or are they deeper? The goal here is just to witness. We're not judging or changing. We are just observing. To begin this meditation, we're going to deepen into our inner world. And we're going to take 3 deep cleansing breaths together. They are going to be a 4-count inhale with a slight hold at the bottom of that inhale and a 6-count exhale. Each inhale is bringing in life force energy that is bringing a golden light into the body to look for and attach to any hesitation, resistance, darkness, any heaviness or cobwebs or anything that has infiltrated your system that doesn't need to be there. And on each exhale, we're going to send those things out with the breath into the earth or up into the cosmos, where they are going to be purified so that they can return to you as usable energy for your highest and best. Let's begin with that inhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold just a moment, letting it expand and collect all those things that you don't need that aren't nourishing you. And let it go. And inhale again. Holding and expanding. Now send it all out into the ground, into the earth and the atmosphere. And take one last deep nourishing breath into that belly space. Holding. And let it go. Go ahead and return to your normal breath pattern, whatever feels comfortable for you. If during this meditation your thoughts become a distraction, gently return to that 4-count inhale, 6-count exhale. When we count or when we focus on the sound of someone's voice or the words they're saying, it preoccupies the brain so that those thoughts can't distract the body from pulling down deeper into this meditative state. You can also imagine that they're clouds. Each thought is a cloud drifting by in the sky. You don't need to attach to it. Just observe it and let it go. With a sense of knowing or with a visualization in your imagination or your mind's eye, I want you to imagine that you are standing barefoot on the earth. You're in a serene place that brings you a sense of comfort and peace. You feel supported. and comfortable. Looking down at your feet, I want you to notice the ground beneath your feet, what it looks like and what it feels like. Then I want you to bring your awareness to the environment around you. Where are you? It could be an imaginary place or somewhere you've been before. What do you hear? And what do you smell? This is your inner sanctuary. And there are no rules, just a place for you to exist without expectation, a place for you to come home and to reconnect. On your next inhale, I want you to imagine that from the soles of your feet, you have roots growing down into the earth. Each inhale takes those roots deeper and deeper. You get to take up space. You get to exist without justification. You get to reconnect with the core of who you are and everything that makes you you. Now that you're rooted, each breath that you take brings with it light and memory up through those roots into your system, just like nourishment. Just like the roots of the trees and the plants and the flowers, you too are nourished. This space offers an opportunity and an invitation to connect with your ancestors, the ones you know and the ones that you don't know. Connected by blood, by circumstance, and by energy. These ancestors are here to support you, to connect with you, and to help you remember. The roots that you grow connect you to them directly, to the land, to their energy and their spirit. You may not see them, but perhaps you feel them. It could be a knowing. It could be a buzzing vibration in your skin, like electric static goosebumps. Perhaps you see them. Generations before you and descendants that come after you that you've not yet met. They're all here, working together as one. You've been called here today to work with them, to expand your connection, to reclaim those parts that make you whole. As you sit in their presence, I want you to ask yourself, or maybe you ask them, what part of you is asking to come home today? Maybe it's a forgotten ritual or an old language like the runes. What part of you is asking to come home today? As you sit with this question, an answer may not come through right away, and that's okay. Or maybe you already have your answer. There is no right or wrong way, and you can come back to this meditation in this space with your ancestors, in this comforting environment anytime you need. This is an invitation, the start of a journey to reclaim and rewild. Reconnection takes time. Reconnection takes effort and intention and consistency. But you are deeply supported, loved, and nourished. Take a moment to sit with your ancestors in their energy, in their spirit. If you have access to speak to any of them, you can do that now. You can ask them how to call them forward in your day-to-day activities to help you and support and guide you. You can ask how to honor them and how to bring forward pieces of your lineage so that it doesn't fall away and become forgotten. They may speak to you in words, in gestures, in symbols or energies. It may be as simple as the clothes they wear or the energy they carry. You may feel sensations in your body. Just let all those things come through and have a place to exist. You don't have to have all the answers today. Just open the channel of communication to reconnect. It is time to head back to your physical space again. Before you leave, take a look around and really take in the energy of this space. Whether it's your imagination or a place in reality, this space calls to you. It has depth. It has comfort. And it is available to you anytime you need it. In this space, you are deeply rooted to the earth. You are deeply rooted and connected to your ancestors. And you are supported in your journey. How you feel in these moments, in this space, is how you'll find your rooted connections in the physical world. Those subtle shifts, those words on a page, quiet moments that deeply resonate in your core. That is how you find your way. As you make your way back to your physical space, we start with any sounds that you hear, allowing the sound of my voice and any external noises like cars driving by, TVs in the next room, birds chirping, or even the sound of your breath bringing you back moment by moment, sound by sound into your physical space. Feel the temperature of the air on your skin. And invite gentle movement by wiggling your fingers and toes. If you're sitting, you can sway a little bit. If you're laying down, this would be a good opportunity to slowly and gently make your way back to seated. And before we come back fully, I want to invite you to take 3 grounding breaths to connect with that space and your ancestors. We're going to breathe deeply down into the soles of our feet, sending that breath through our roots to connect those energies. We're going to do a 4 count inhale and a 6 count exhale. Go ahead and inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold it just a moment. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale one last time, 2, 3, 4, and hold it. Let it expand, root deeply, deeply, deeply. And exhale, 2, letting it all go, 4, 5, 6. And go ahead and return to a normal breathing pattern that feels right for you. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes back to this time and space, reorienting yourself to the room you're in. If you'd like, you can take a moment to journal or share in the comments what you experienced. If you felt or saw your ancestors, what your sanctuary looked like. It's different for everybody. I know for me, my sanctuary always has a smell of pine, like old forest pine. It is for whatever reason, that smell feels like home to me. It's one of the most amazing smells I've ever smelled in my life. So I always have a scent of pine trees, like pine needles on the ground. And I always get electrostatic goosebumps. I'm always covered in them when I do this kind of work, especially ancestral connection. And I always get emotional. Lately, I've been getting emotional on these Woo Wednesdays almost every week. So apparently something's working. But yeah, so rewilding isn't chaos. It's not just, going crazy. It's a remembrance. We have a tree in our backyard that when we first moved in 5 years ago, the roots were completely shown. So the land around this tree had been neglected and all the roots were showing and they were just mowing over what was growing there. And it just didn't look healthy. And we looked into different ways to rehabilitate that area. And you can't put a bunch of dirt or mulch over tree roots because you could suffocate the tree. So we just let it go. We let Mother Nature do her thing. And now we have wild violets and wild ginger. We have some like wild blackberry bushes, I think they are. There are lots of really beautiful plants that have decided to take up life in that space, and just by letting it rewild. Now, we do have to go in and pull some invasive things out. Like we've got Randa bittersweet that we have to take out of there that has threatened to just take over. We also have some ground, what is it called? Oh shoot, I can't remember the name of it right now. Anyway, we have some kind of very fast growing, I think it's a ground ivy, or a ground mint or something, but very medicinal, but it is apparently crazy growing because we had none of it last year and probably a quarter of the area is now full this year of it. So rewilding is a process. It is intentional, but without intervention or minimal intervention. And that's what we're doing. That is what we are doing this month, is we are coming back to ancient truths that are in our DNA. They're in our body and they are part of our spirit. They're coded in us. That's like me finding the runes. I've always felt a very strong connection to my Norse heritage, especially like Viking for some reason. I don't know why that, but I've always felt a very strong connection to that, one that I cannot explain. And especially like the priestess or the like the healer aspects of that life, and finding out what I can do now, like pulling up dandelions and drying them for tea and using herbs to cleanse my space by burning it. Like these are traditions and rituals that my ancestors did that allow me to connect with them, allow me to embody the things that meant something to my lineage. I don't have much tradition in my life. My family on both sides don't carry a lot of that. And so I'm creating tradition and I'm reconnecting to tradition. I'm rewilding myself with intention by following these whispers, by following these synchronicities. And that's what leads you to things like really beautiful books that have your daughter's name in it. So I think I would like to go ahead and pick an oracle card for today. And what I think I'm going to carry energy forward with is what are we calling home? What's the energy of this reconnection, this rooting, and what are we being asked to sit with this month? Actually, we'll do this week as we call this energy home and call these practices or these, even if it's just connecting with ancestors, what are we calling home? We are calling home transformation. Just like rewilding, we are transforming. We are reclaiming. And in order to do that, we have to let certain things go. We have to let go of control, first and foremost. You can't control all aspects of life. And so transformation is all about honoring cycles and phases. I mean, we've got the phases of the moon up here, and it actually shows itself all throughout this. But if you notice, from the middle to the outside, there's layers and there's depth and there's perspective. And so transformations are often cyclical, and we often come back to the same central rooted concept or idea or theme. We just look at it from different perspectives, and we are constantly evolving and moving, and we're living in motion inside of these circles, inside of these spirals. So the energy that we're working with right now is the energy of transformation. And so this could include radical change. And in order to do that, we have to surrender. And that's letting go of that control. That's letting go of the expectations or the outcomes. It's allowing ourselves to follow little whispers that, Elder Futhart came to me a year ago, and I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I've got a lot of other stuff going on. I'll put that on my back burner. Well, now it's ready. Now it's like, hey, we have time, we have space. Let's do it now. And it's allowing myself the space to recognize that that's something that is meaningful, but to not control making it happen then. Because I could have found a way to do that with the other 500 things I was doing, but it wasn't time. It was becoming an awareness. It was planting the seed. And now that seed is germinating to the point where I can now do something with it. And that's how transformation works. So I'm referencing the book real quick, and it's talking about a time to leave behind old ways of thinking and responding that aren't doing anything for you. And so this can look like having a nervous system response to something, like a comment someone makes, and having your nervous system rev up with a certain mindset or a certain reaction to whatever that comment was, and recognizing, you know what? I probably don't need to act like this anymore because that person's not doing it for this reason. I'm interpreting it that way because that's what my nervous system knows, but that's not what this person's doing. And if you're not sure, ask for clarity. And this happens a lot with my husband. He will do certain things and I will get triggered a certain way based on aspects of my life and how I have designed my coping mechanisms. And I have to check myself and go, wait a minute, I don't think that's how this is really playing out anymore. What can I do differently? And a lot of times it's just calling it out and saying, hey, I don't mean to respond this way. This is what's happening in my nervous system, in my brain. I'm working on it. And that is choosing a different way to respond and react and behave. And so we have to let go of those old ways that are causing us to show up inauthentically, because the way I show up in those moments is not who I really am. It's not who I want to be. Let's see. Change. So nothing in life remains the same. So we have to accept the fact that the process of change can only bring peace. Everything everywhere is evolving. Like I said, last year, whatever these purple flowery plants are in this area underneath our maple tree, not there last year, not a single one of them. And now there's a ton of them. That is a drastic change from last year to this year. Now I could go out there and try to pull all these, and I could try to kill them somehow or manage them or whatever. But I'm like, why? They're pretty. They're, if they start harming something, maybe we got to like manage them that way, but it's out of my control. This is what nature wants to do right here. And there are certain things like invasive species, like I said, the Oriental bittersweet, where we do need to take action because those are harmfully invasive. But there's a balance there. Is this something I need to control or is it not? Is it harmful or is it just, I feel like I need to control this because it, of an opinion or an idea that somebody has somewhere. And that's the balance, right? Some of those things align with our values and some of them don't. So it says, ask yourself, which area of my life requires a fresh start? And so this kind of echoes the question in the meditation about what part of your life is asking to come home today. A fresh start doesn't mean you're starting over. It just means we're reinvigorating, we're rewilding, we're inviting this thing to come back to the surface because it probably got buried. What does it mean for you to take the next step? What does that look like? What does it mean? Does it carry a weight and energy? And then how can you improve your life so it feels good within? And this is that feeling that we felt inside the meditation, in that place of comfort, that place of rooted sanctuary where we got to put our roots down in the earth and then we got visited by ancestors. That's what that feels like. So moments in life when you can start to observe, okay, I feel that sense of peace or I don't, when you can be aware of what that physically feels like in your body, that's when things really start to change. And the affirmation is, I will stop repeating the same old patterns, wishing for a different result. How's that land for you? Tell me in the chat if you are watching this on the replay. Put that in the comments or in the Facebook group. I'm sorry, the Facebook page. All right. So for today, that is all that I have for this rewilding reconnection. Sorry, rooted reconnection for today under the theme of the Rewilding Begins. So all month we will be looking at different aspects of rewilding. So if you want to join me next week, same time, same place, I'd love to see you there. You can follow me on Facebook. You can work with me in person. I do have a few release and reclaim and integration sessions open the rest of this month. And I did just launch a year-long program that is, I only have 5 spaces because it is a very intimate, intense deep dive with these clients where we spend the entire year, not a calendar year, but from when you sign up to a year later. And we do deep healing with integration. Integration is arguably the hardest part of spiritual awakening work. And it is something that I have become very deeply passionate about because I see time and time again that people start chasing healing because they don't know what to do after those healing moments. So they're chasing all these different moments where they feel these euphoric, like, oh my God, I'm healed. But that's just the starting point. There's so much that has to happen after that. And so I don't want to leave people, whether that healing happens with me or someone else, I am tired of leaving people or like reconnecting with people that feel lost and alone and unsupported. So I am taking 5 people. So for this first go at this sacred reclamation program, to work very deeply and very intimately. You get Voxer support, 22 integration sessions for the year, and 4 release and reclaim sessions, which are the real deep healing, and then integration sessions happen in between. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please check that out. Otherwise, I do have a reflection question for you in addition to the ones that we've already answered. So for this, from now until next week, just contemplate this, journal it, think about it in meditation. When was the last time you remembered yourself? Not through force or, through the eyes of what other people thought you should be, but through something soft and quiet and deeply, deeply, deeply true, where you just felt at peace with who you were. When was the last time you remembered yourself? If you want to share that in the comments, please do. If you want to share that with me in an email, my email is theopalcrow@gmail.com. and I will post other links for you. Also, this month, Women's Circle is happening on May 24th. So that will coincide with week 3 of this month's Rewilding. So if any of that is of interest to you or you need any support, please reach out. I'm here to walk beside you. I see you. I honor you. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next week. Illumination and love. Bye, guys.